We usually picture ancient humans mid-hunt, spear raised, chasing something dangerous. But most of their lives weren't dramatic at all. Most of it looked like a day. Waking up, eating, working, talking, resting. So what did an actual ordinary day look like tens of thousands of years ago, when nothing extraordinary was happening at all? Days began early, with first light. There was no reason to stay in the dark once it was safe to move. Groups likely woke gradually, not all at once. Someone was probably already up, tending the fire that had burned through the night. Mornings were quiet, cool air, low light, the first sounds of the group stirring, a rhythm dictated entirely by the sun, not an alarm clock. Before anything else, there was food to deal with. Leftover meat from the day before might be reheated. Water needed collecting, often from a nearby stream or spring, sometimes requiring a short walk each morning. Tools got a quick check, a spear tip inspected, a basket mended, before the group split up for the day's real work. For those heading out to hunt, mornings were spent tracking, reading footprints, broken branches, disturbed grass. Hunting wasn't the constant high-drama chase we imagine. Most of it was patient, quiet observation, sometimes for hours, before a single decisive moment. Large game hunts often involve several people working together, using terrain and teamwork rather than raw speed. And a lot of the time, despite the effort, hunters simply came home empty-handed, which is exactly why so much of daily life revolved around other food sources too. While some hunted, others foraged, and this, more than hunting, likely provided the bulk of daily calories. Foraging meant knowing, in real detail, which plants were edible, which were poisonous, when fruits ripened, where roots could be dug. This knowledge was learned, memorized, and passed down, an entire mental map of the local landscape built over a lifetime. By midday, with the sun at its highest and hottest, activity slowed. Groups likely rested in shade, ate a small meal, and waited out the heat. A practical habit, not laziness. Predators were often less active in blistering midday heat too, which meant it was, in a strange way, one of the safer times to relax. As the day cooled slightly, focus shifted to maintenance. Stone tools got sharpened or replaced. Broken spear shafts were repaired. Cordage got rewound. This wasn't downtime, it was essential upkeep, the kind of quiet, repetitive labor that kept every other part of daily survival functioning. Children, meanwhile, were rarely just watching. They were learning how to identify plants, how to strike stone correctly, how to read animal signs. Mostly by imitation, standing beside adults doing the actual work. There was no separate classroom. The entire day was the classroom. Groups weren't always isolated either. Encounters with neighboring bands happened, sometimes for trade, exchanging tools, materials, or even people through marriage alliances, and sometimes just to share news and information. These wider social networks, researchers believe, were part of what made humans especially resilient compared to other, more isolated human species. Shelters needed constant small repairs too. A loose hide retied, a weak support branch replaced, bedding refreshed. None of it was glamorous. All of it mattered. A well-maintained camp was safer, warmer, and more comfortable than one left to slowly fall apart. As the sun began to drop, the group reconvened. Whatever had been hunted, foraged, or fished that day got prepared and shared, often the single largest meal of the day, and the moment the whole group came back together after hours apart. As darkness approached, the pace slowed deliberately. Fires were built up. Tools were put away. This was less about relaxation and more about transition. The deliberate shift from a day built around movement and work into a night built around fire, safety, and rest. None of this looks like the version of prehistory we usually picture. There's no single dramatic hunt driving the whole story. Instead, there's a rhythm. Waking, working, eating, resting, teaching, repeating. Refined over hundreds of thousands of years into something that worked. In a lot of ways, an ordinary day tens of thousands of years ago wasn't so different in shape from an ordinary day now. We just fill the hours differently.